Hello there, Sagittarius. Thank you so much for stopping by for your weekly tarot video forecast for the week of June the 3rd through the 9th. I have gone ahead and cleared your cards for this spread, and I'm just putting the final shuffle on them as we get ready to lay down cards. In the meanwhile, what you need to know is that everything that I see here is not necessarily going to happen for every single Sagittarius that watches this video. This is a general reading. And so if you would like to have a private reading where I look at your own particular energies, check out my website, www.amista.info. Figure out if you want a one question or two question pre-recorded reading, or if you want a live reading, and then contact me with any of the contact information listed there and we'll get you taken care of quickly. Other than that, the next best way to find out what's coming up for you is to check your rising sign or your moon sign. Readings are also really great if you have big decisions to make and you're not quite sure which way you want to go. A reading can really clarify that for you and help you make a more educated choice. Okay, Sagittarians, let's take very focused on. You may have had some kind of options in your environment, options about things that you wanted to upgrade or fix, options about where you wanted to live, options about where you wanted to work. Do you want to be out of a home office? Do you want to be somewhere else? And so you have decided on what it is you want to focus on about this environment, which option, and you're working on that. The next thing that comes up tells me about your subconscious leanings. Sagittarians, you are, this is interesting. A lot of you have somebody in your mind, in your subconscious that you're working with. Okay, how can I get to know this person better? How can I spend more time with this person? How can I have more of this person's attention? And this particular person is somebody like me, somebody who does readings, somebody who is very familiar with the spiritual world. And yeah, really does readings. So some type of reader. A lot of you Sagittarians have a psychic reader in your subconscious. You're working on how can I get to know them better. Interesting stuff there. Next thing that we're looking at talks to me about learning style and communication style for the week, Sagittarians. I think you're picking and choosing what you're learning about this week, Sagittarius. You're learning about things that make you happy to find out about them. And looks to me like there is some pressure around you to learn some other things, and you're not so gung-ho on that. You're really just interested in the things that make you happy. And if they happen to overlap with the things other people want you to know, yay, great. If they don't, oh well. Okay, so that's what I see for your learning style in this particular week. And then next we're looking at communication style. Sagittarians, body language says a lot this week. Be careful about the body language that you're putting out. A lot of you put out body language. I'm actually hearing the word extreme body language kind of naturally. If you don't want people to know what you're thinking, you may have to pay attention to that body language because you're using it to communicate. Not saying that there aren't words, but I'm saying that the strongest messages are coming out in body language. Okay, Sagittarians. The next thing that we're looking at is work. Please excuse me. So the next thing that we're looking at is work. And it looks to me like for those of you who are not working, you are getting geared up to go to work. For those of you who are working, you're getting geared up and prepared for something at work, maybe a special project, maybe a special presentation. But there's something that maybe the workplace is going to be moving. Excuse me. And so you're getting geared up to handle that. But there's something that you are definitely preparing for when it comes to work. Now, when we look at inner work or that work that we do on our character, there's definitely something that you're getting ready for here, too. Just feeling around a little bit to see what else I see here. It's almost like you have some work on your character coming up that you're not sure you're ready to do, but you know you need to do it. For some of you, this may be letting go of some grief that You're not sure once you actually open those floodgates with the first tears, you're not sure that you can shut that back down again. And so I feel like for inner work, you guys are actually preparing to do some inner work is what's going on during this week. Getting ready, getting prepared to really allow yourself to go full blown with any emotions you may have around something. Next thing I'm looking at here talks to me about that part of your personality that's growing or expanding this week, Sagittarius. And what we have coming up here is you are learning how to do some things impulsively. You're learning how to think on your feet and do things in a more quick and responsive way than what you maybe normally do. So that's really expanding for you, that impulsive. You know what? I don't even want to say impulsive. I want to say impromptu. It doesn't seem like it has any kind of recklessness to it. It just seems like whatever responses you're making to things, you're making those responses quickly. You're coming up with plans quickly. So more impromptu actions is what I'm seeing where you're growing or expanding this week. And then the next thing that I'm looking at talks to me about those things that you stand for. Um, when we look at things that you stand for, it looks like there was a situation in your life, Sagittarius, that you walked away from. And you walked away from this situation because it was depleting you. It was making you feel like you had no energy left over for anything else after you got done taking care of this person or this project or this situation. Excuse me. And so you have walked away from that. And I think somebody's given you some trouble about it. If it was a person, maybe even it's the person that you walked away from. If it's somebody that's attached to a project you were working on, it may be somebody that was attached to that project. And so somebody's sort of giving you some grief about it. And so you're having to stand up for yourself and say, you know what? I had to do the best thing for me. Simple as that. Okay, so how other people perceive you. Really interesting. I almost want to laugh when I see this because here we are talking about you walking away from something that's making you feel depleted. And then the person that you had to stand up to and justify this to sees you as somebody who only likes things as long as they're new. And then once the new wears off, you're off chasing the next new thing. So that's how they're seeing you, Sagittarius. I'm not saying that's necessarily how you are, but that is how you're being perceived right now, at least during this week. Next, we do have the pivotal energy. This is the energy around which things start to change. And it looks to me like there's some situation where you're letting your guard down this week, Sagittarius, and you're just saying, you know what, I'm tired of trying to hold you off. I'm tired of fighting. I am just tired of putting so much energy and effort into keeping this situation at bay. I am just going to put my guard down, let things move forward the way they need to, and just handle it as it comes up. Once again, leaning on that impromptu bit of yourself that's expanding so that whatever comes your way, you're just going to handle it as it comes up. Okay, so other things that are going on as you're starting to let things happen the way they need to, you're starting to see some good news about money and finances. You're starting to get in some good news about that. So that's really nice. So if this has to do with work, then you're having a positive effect on work, definitely. Also, you start to make some long-term plans. Seems to me like whatever it was that you walked away from kind of was keeping you from making long-term plans. You really couldn't. Maybe you couldn't make any travel plans, or maybe you couldn't see how you would replan ever retiring. This is this is helping you. You're in a situation now where you can actually make some long-term plans and you're starting to see hope for the future. Whatever this was that you walked away from, it must have been really dragging you down, Sagittarius, because you're starting to see hope for the future. You're starting to be able to make long-term plans. You're starting to see the results of your own labor. This is all really good things going on in your life at the same time that you're letting something or somebody go. So, um, looks to me like you're on the right path. So if you were second guessing letting this person or this situation go, I wouldn't second guess it anymore. Okay. So that is your reading for this week, Sagittarius. I hope that you found it helpful. And thank you so much for watching. If you would like a private reading, you'll know how to get a hold of me and take care of that. And everybody have a wonderful rest of your week. Peace out.